Okay guys, so I'm back to make another driving video. It's been quite a while here. So yeah, I figure we get back into it here. So we're taking the 2008 328i out for a drive, just for a drive, no reason, so I figured here we go. Got some better camera and equipment this time, so be able to see what's going on here instead of like looking through a 1980s camcorder. It's a bit foggy out today, so be a little bit of a foggy drive, I guess. Well, instead of sitting here talking about nothing, I guess I can talk about, made a video on how to shift this car smoothly, and I had a few people saying it was going to burn the clutch up. I think I need to kind of get into a little bit more detail of how I was explaining it, because I said you just barely back off the throttle, and that is the case with this car. If you just barely back off the throttle, the revs will drop very close to where the next gear is at, kind of like that right there, and it's buttery smooth. Now if I did that in my Mazda MX-5, the revs would shoot up. So it depends on what car you're driving, and that's how this car works, because if you were to just dip the clutch, if you come off gas and then as you put the clutch and you come fully off the gas, this car instantly goes to idle. So you really don't have time unless you're at a higher. Now, if you're shifting at higher RPM, say above 3,000, then if you release the gas for about a split second, then you have enough time to initiate the shift and it's smooth. It's quite a bit of a different technique. It took me a while to get used to driving this car, because at first I actually thought it was broken, but it's not. It's actually not that bad. Because like now, ease off the gas, put the clutch in, add gas, and then it was smooth. Because the revs drop just about where you would expect them to be. That nasty old man on a bicycle. Okay. So I guess we'll go out on the main road now. I just was driving the car around because it's raining like crazy here, and I didn't want to pull out on the main street with mud all over the tires, sling it all over my car, dirty it up worse than what it already is. So I'm hoping with the new camera and audio equipment, you'll be able to hear me better, and just overall better video quality, because my other videos, they were all right, but it was, like I said, it's kind of like looking through a camcorder of about 1985 or something, which, I mean, if you're into that, then I guess so. I'm sure the video will probably, or the audio will probably pick that up. You might hear the lifter ticking. This car does have the lifter issue that plagues the N52 engine. It actually has a bad camshaft ledge bearing seal, so it's kind of on its last legs. But there's plenty of engines out there, so I was gonna replace the engine with a lower mileage one out of a 2009 or newer, so it has the updated bearing ledge and all that. But it still drives somewhat. Makes it a little bit jerky because it fuels the engine incorrectly, which is not the best, but it is what it is. Because you probably can't pick it up on the camera, but when you accelerate at lower RPM, the car likes to kick and jerk because the fueling's off because of the ledge seal. Well, it looks like the fog's clearing up. That'll be quite nice. A little bit more traffic out than I expected for a Sunday morning. We'll go a different way. Go back here where there's a little bit nicer roads. Well, I guess I could tell you guys a little bit about this car. Like I said, it's a 2008 BMW 328i. I've had it now about 3-4 years. Before this car, I had a 2006 325i. Same color inside and out. The only thing was it was an automatic, and I just didn't care for the programming of that automatic transmission. It was quite jerky. So I gave that car to my brother because it didn't bother him. And I found this one on Craigslist, shockingly. It wasn't running, and I only paid $1,200 for it. And it's in fairly good shape. The reason it wasn't running was it had a broken wire going to one of the ignition coils, and that was pretty easy fix. And just a few other things like regular maintenance, like fluid changes, like gearbox, the differential, and power steering, all that. And I drove it for 2.5-3 years and didn't have to put any money into it at all. So I mean, I can't argue with that. But when I got it, they had overfilled the oil by 2.5 quarts, and it had sucked it into the exhaust. So for the first week it was smoking. I thought it was burning oil, but it was burning it off. So of course, you know what that does to the catalytic converters. So that recently just went out. Not really the car's fault, that was prior owner's fault. So that really set me back some money. That was like $2,900 some dollars. So. And then I recently just went ahead and spent the money and did all the normal maintenance on BMW, which is oil leaks galore, valve cover, oil filter housing gasket.